And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to this amazing podcast with the most beautiful Canadian you would ever see and chat. So, Heather, how is the weather?
Well, I tell you, I love coming here for compliments. It just makes me feel good about myself.
Well, I can't help it.
Oh, I love it. So, how's the weather? Well, it's again unseasonably mild, which is really rocking my world. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
So, describe rocking my world.
Okay, so I will. So the term rocking my world means I love it a lot and it impacts my life greatly. Why it's rocking my world is because normally this time of year, it's about like minus 15 to minus 25 with a wind chill. So when you go outside, it feels like minus 30 all the time.
I cannot imagine how is this feeling. Like, no. I can't even, figure it in my mind or in my body.
Like it's just so cold. And so
I've never been in such an extreme weather.
No, and like I don't know if you need to.
Why? Well, for the sake of the experience, for the sake of the brain connections, like, new synapses.
Like you're welcome to come and we'll do a winter visit, but you won't do it again.
That's a one lifetime experience.
Yeah. That's all you need.
So I think I mentioned the max that I had, the experience was like minus 18, but it was like really a short period, like just maybe 1 or 2 days that cold in Poland. And I never came back. So
see? And like I would say that it's probably similar. Like our climate is probably similar to Poland's climate.
Yeah.
In like snow depth and whatever.
I'd say so, especially the 4-season thing.
Oh, they have that too? Yeah. Right now, Spain is getting hit with so much snow. Have you seen?
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I feel like they're getting our snow and like, don't tell them.
Yeah, because like usually when you think of Spain, you think of good weather and good vibes and chill on the boat. I can't put those information together, like Spain, snow, like meh.
Yeah. And so of course they're going nuts because they've never had this much snow before. And so, if you get a foot of snow and you've never had a foot of snow, like people are going to get in accidents. There's all kinds, like driving in snow is a whole different skill. Like you need different tires. Like I feel so bad for them just being so ill-equipped.
Yeah, because you must be prepared. I can imagine, like, for example, if it starts snowing here, I will be definitely not prepared. Like, simple things like windows. People never think about that. And I realized it when I was in Poland that their windows are different. Like here, even when my ex-husband was in Brazil, he was shocked because obviously for them, you can't have space between the slides, you need to be sealed for obvious reasons. So, you cannot have like any space between the glasses. So you don't have the chance for the wind to come or, just very obvious. But when I was there, I could see that the windows, they had like a rubber in between those slides. So it seals. But our houses here, they are definitely not prepared. Like sometimes when it's windy, like a bit over the average, I can feel the wind like inside when in the room, because our windows, they have this gap between the spaces. So I wouldn't survive.
Well, basically. I kind of love that idea. Like I feel like you're more at nature when it's windy outside and you get a breeze inside. How special is that? You're still part of outside.
I never thought like that. Sometimes I feel like I should have sealed windows here where I am working, because I have the glass between me and the garden, but it's not soundproof. And I have all sorts of noises here. Like I have the kids screaming all the time, and then loads of dogs barking the whole day long, and people are always trimming the grass. Like every day, someone's trimming the grass around. So when I'm ready, because it's not easy to get ready, like there is, loads going on: makeup, hair, mood, coffee. And then when I see it, I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's record something. It's just a matter of pressing play or rec, and then everything starts to happen. So sometimes I miss this kind of sealed windows. Even here, I think when I have like my own place, I'll definitely have a proper studio with no noises. And
yeah.
But anyways,
you're ready. Like you need a soundproof booth. Like it's in your life. I don't think I can justify having one, so I just put some pillows in a closet. but I really think that you could invest in that, and it would be good in your life.
Yeah, the pillows work for you. Yeah.
I do like my pillow studio. What I do, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, is I have a very small closet. So it's about 2 feet wide and about 1.5 feet deep. And so when I record audios or voiceover auditions, I take my professional mic and I plug it into my cell phone. And then I put my head in my closet space. It's like a little shelf, and I have pillows around the sides and the back. And then there's a blanket on the bottom. So the whole thing is like a tiny sound booth. And then it echoes my voice really nicely. and
this is why your audios are like one of the best.
Yeah. So
it's the whole set, right? Like your beautiful voice, the way how you sound, and you put your emotions in your voice, plus the quality of the audio. I mean, it's just the best.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I like getting into my little studio.
Do you want
to know something funny?
Tell me.
Speaking of studios, a friend of mine who lives in Toronto, that we met years ago, but you know what I mean? Sometimes people just get on really well. And so he used to DJ. He made music. And he hadn't done it in a long time. But I was feeling singy, as I have been lately. And so I said to him, can we make some music? Should we make a song? And he was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I still think like we should do this. And he, he's a creative. So he's like, there's too many things. I can't narrow it down, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, but if you had to write a 1-minute song using 3 notes this afternoon, you could do it, couldn't you?
Oh, there's people that usually can.
And he was like, yeah, he was like, I could do that. And I was like, okay, well, let's start there. And so over the last couple of weeks, like he sent me some beats, and then I would like play it and then sing to it in my phone and send that back.
Is he cute, by the way?
Is he cute? Yeah, he's cute.
Does he have a girlfriend?
Yes, he does. I know.
Okay, keep going.
I see where your head's at, but we're not friends. So anyways, so I was able to send him some melody, and then he's learning a bunch about music right now, so he's figuring out the key and how to do all this kind of stuff. And so he was like, I need some lyrics. And so he was like, they don't need to be good, just put some words down. And so like I wrote some songs really quickly. Apparently I can.
Did you?
Yeah.
Honey, you're so talented. Like what you can't do?
Oh,
like, budget. Okay, anything to do with numbers maybe, but if you go to the other side, like all the creative things, you can do everything. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, it's all the fun stuff,
Yeah, but that's the point. We come here to this planet supposed to have fun, But the thing is that we go to another way, like we detour our paths.
Yeah, we're always doing a side quest of something someone told me to do.
No, just have fun.
Given all the time in the world and a specific order to not leave my house, I'm really trying to find the things that I like doing. And so I'm so nervous about every time I send him something, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hate it. And then he's like,
and you know he's going to love it.
Yeah, he loves it. It's great. It's fine. And I mean, because the thing is, like, the lyrics are just, one of them is a song about like staying home.
Everybody's going to relate,
Right. And so we were like, it should be like a party song about staying home. And I think one of the lines is, it's something like, I'm working, I'm eating well, and like I'm listening to the man.
I really want to see the end of this, the result of it. Like, do you have it already? Like the beat and the lyric, is it together already, or are you still working on it?
We're still working on it. So
right.
Where did we leave off? I sent him some lyrics and they rhymed, because like I do them in like patterns, like a song with a chorus and stuff. So he's going to take that and work with it. I think he's got a couple different beats, because we figured we should do a happy song and a sad song. So like when we're sad, we'll work on the happy song, and when we're happy, we'll work on the sad song.
Is it like two versions of the same subject, or is it like two completely different things?
Different things.
Okay, because I was just figuring like the subject, being at home, and then positive side of being at home and the negative side of being, you could have like two of the same.
Now that we're talking about it, what would be interesting as a creative project, since that's what we're doing. You know how certain songs are like really long? Like the Thriller song was like a music video and it was like 7 minutes long. We should do an at-home anthem that starts as a party, then like fades into sadness, and then ends at a party.
You know what it sounds like?
Yes.
You won't get this one. Right. For me, it sounds like Bohemian Rhapsody,
Oh, yeah. Do you know? Okay, here's a fun fact. So I was watching a documentary about Freddie Mercury this week and the band Queen, conveniently. And Bohemian Rhapsody, that song, have you seen the music video for it?
The video clip. Yeah, and they also tell the story in the movie.
Oh, it may have been the movie I was watching.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so that video that they made was almost one of the first music videos ever. And so
this bit I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe I wasn't watching the movie. It was on YouTube. I was in a spiral. So what they did, and because they didn't have music videos yet, and so Freddie just wanted to make this thing. He wanted to make visuals with that song. And so the part where they layer all their voices with the four sets of the four of them, like that was very creative as a filmmaker at that time, to be able to put those images like repeated in one frame. Right. And so they said that this was one of the most influential like projects, because he didn't have a name for it. He was like, we just wanted to do a thing. And that was...
Isn't it incredible that they didn't really have a lot of information about it? Like they couldn't really compare around. So you know how the creative process works, right? Like you see everything around and then you create your own. Like nobody creates things like from zero, from scratch. We get some influences, some stimulus, and then we get our own. Then we create. So this is why we are creative. But then back then, they didn't have references. So they basically had to create a lot from their own. So, I mean, they deserve all the credits. Like, come on, look what it was a big. This is why they were and are so famous until now, because it was a big revolution, not only in music but in the video clip. I never really thought much about the video clip, but the music is that. I think the first time I heard it, I was like, "What is this? It's just so unique," you know?
Yeah. And so the first time that you heard it, how old would you have been? Because it would have been in English.
I was a teenager. I was in that moment where I felt I was a rock and roll girl. I was just wearing black, and just because I was listening to Nirvana and all those grunge stuff, and Metallica, but just the love songs. And I should be around 14, 15, so maybe 2000s. Yeah.
Yep. That was a good time to come into it.
But you see, even at that time, they didn't have a lot of quality. I mean, MTV was a big revolution at that time because all those quick videos that they do between the programs, they were very freaky, like very different, very, I would say, loads of surrealism. Salvador Dali,
Yeah.
the painter.
Yeah.
So it was loads of that was a lot for the 90s. So even that time they were already being very disruptive. So, but anyways, we were talking about the song, the tune you were doing with the guy, and that sounded like Bohemian Rhapsody for me. Did you want to finish that subject? Because that's how we do. We just go up and down. But do you want to?
I mean, that's all we're at now, is just that I
Okay.
started singing to him, and so he's learning different keys now. And so I thought if he liked the rhythm and the melody, if he could tell me what key it was in, I would put it into notes on my flute, and then I would send him like the actual like written music.
You play flute too?
Yeah. I play trombone. I play a steel pan. If there were steel pans in Brazil when we were there, I was just going to bust a song for you.
Wait, Priscilla is just asking here, Heather, do you play guitar?
Yes, I can see that there is one behind me, but no, I don't. There's a ukulele there as well. I haven't learned yet. I have plans, but look, the plant is using the guitar right now. So when the plant is finished, I will use it.
Okay. Well, it's their turn now. Whenever you have the chance, get your turn.
Yeah, I think if I just kept the ukulele like closer to the couch, I would just pick it up more. But,
why don't you?
Well, I've thought about it. I know that it would work if I got it over there.
So he's a challenge for you.
Yeah, next week I'll just come back with a song.
So you have some homework this week.
I do. I know one song. I tried to run a women's music circle Zoom at the beginning of lockdown.
Right. What does it mean?
A women's circle. So my drum camp that I go to every summer.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of women who live in my area that all play like djembes and tambourines and
fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's all like the lovey people. And so I tried to have a Zoom meeting where we could all like play our drums.
Oh, right. Could you do it online?
No.
I was so positive, like really expecting it.
This is gonna be great. Yeah, no, it didn't go well. I tried, and the thing is, because there's a lag, you can't hear everyone else. So you're basically just sitting by yourself, like trying to keep up. And there was another friend of mine named Laura, who is just a fabulous human. She almost wanted to come to Brazil with us too.
Why didn't she?
The timing didn't work out, but she'll come next time. Right. Yeah, you'd love her.
She's invited.
Great. And so anyways, she had planned a song and she had written it all out on paper because she's a teacher. And so like hers was really good. Mm-hmm. And then I went to sing my song and I got nervous. And so like I couldn't change chords properly. And then I had to look at the lyrics. Yeah, it's okay. No one there judges, but people didn't come back next week really.
Priscilla is saying she also plays ukulele and she loves it.
Okay, all right. I'll do a tune next week, okay?
I think it sounds like a sign for you.
It's a good challenge. I like it. I'll do it. Priscilla, I'll see you next week with my song.
We can't wait. You also have your coffee with you today. We are both coughing.
Mm-hmm. I got my Capricorn mug here.
Oh, let me see. Wait, let me just take this comment. Oh, Capricorn, of course. That's your sign. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's not just an ordinary Capricorn mug. It's shiny, it's sparkling, golden.
Well, it's funny when I got it. I was with my friend Maria and we had just I like shopping. And so we'd been at some store and we were like, get all this stuff because she likes shopping too. And then we were at the checkout and she's like, Heather, this is a Capricorn mug. Do you need this? And I was like, yes, of course I do. Right in the cart.
It's a must-have. Come on.
A mug with my sign?
Sparkling, golden.
All the good stuff I need. We have Kawan. Did I say that right? I think so.
I would say Kawan.
Kawan. Okay. Asks, which music do you like? Rock? Pop? I like a lot of music. Probably, yeah.
You wouldn't say you are a rock or a pop girl. You're just everything, I'd say.
Everything. I like the emotion in music, and so whatever my emotion is kind of the music that I go towards. Because I grew up as a competitive dancer, you kind of have to be able to feel all the music. So there's a lot of the slower, more Dermot Kennedy is an Irish singer who's got a lot of that. It's like that feeling of that sorrow, sadness. I don't know. It's that extra that you kind of feel when you hear songs. Really like that. But I like hip hop, and the only thing I don't really like is country, like the far hard country.
Me too.
And I don't like the mumble rapping that the kids
mumble rapping.
Yeah. Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Like, come on, learn some more words. I feel like anyone in your course knows more words than the songs have. Some
more words, some vocabulary, please.
No.
Come on. Yeah, music is supposed to be expressive. I mean, it's art, and it's the same. I have the same argument with some Brazilian music because Brazilian music is very creative. There is a lot of beats and groove, and we have it all. But we have a certain kind of music which I think you heard about, which is funk.
I love funk. Yeah.
Funk, yeah, funk is you're supposed to dance. Okay, you're not supposed to really sit down and think, and that's fine. But I mean, at least me, I cannot listen to it for too long. It's just maybe in a certain party, or just in a certain party. You would just have one or two and then enough, because it's just not enough words and lyrics.
See, and that's what I find. I really like songs that have the intricate lyrics, the ones that have, Tiago was saying, I like international music like Eminem. And Eminem has such a great vocabulary, and he's such a lyricist. I think that's a word.
That's different rap. Yeah.
And when he first came out, he was my dad's favorite rapper.
Really?
Yeah, because my dad could understand what he was saying.
Okay, yeah, because usually we can't really understand rappers, but yet you can understand him. Yeah, makes sense.
And he is very clever with his lyrics, and he knows the difference of when you do a hook, that's the thing that everybody's going to sing along to. And then he does the different verses that actually say his point and get his feelings out. And so they're still very quickly said, but he enunciates and he actually writes a little story for you.
I think that's the point with his songs. It's the whole storytelling. Yeah. It's not just Eminem from the block used to have a little, now I have a lot. It's not just that. He's very intense, loads of racial problems and political problems, and he brings it in a way that people feels it. So it's talking about social issues in an artistic way, in a creative way, in he's like influencing you to think, like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of his art, is that you are thinking, it's making you feel something. And so, well, and I mean, it's an interesting climate now in music. Oh, Ricardo says, I like rap music and I like to practice speaking with that. Good for you. It's fast.
It's fast. I mean, come on. Sometimes, Heather, the students come and say, I cannot understand everything the singer is singing. And I'm like, come on. Even a native speaker wouldn't. So why do you want to have this, such an English that you want to understand every single thing? Sometimes it's difficult even for native speakers, right?
Oh, absolutely. I still do it. When I hear songs, I make up what I think they're saying. And then I look up the lyrics and I'm like, oh, shoot.
There's more what I really thought they were saying. Just a quick other comment here. Priscilla, you should write this in English, but I'll translate that for you. She says, I am a fast mover and I am loving that I can keep up with the conversation. So well done. We're proud of you.
Good job. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Doing it.
What were you going to say?
What was I going to say?
We're talking about Eminem, rap, difficult to understand, quick lyrics. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. Something about a quick lyric I was going somewhere with.
Yeah, because it's hard even like in Portuguese, depending on the song, I can't understand. But the funniest thing is when we understand a lyric that is in English, and then it happens a lot in weddings. The bride is coming in the church, just to meet the fiancé in the altar, and everybody's like not weeping, just like crying, very emotional. And then I look around like, guys, do you have any idea what this music is about? Like, it's supposed to be something happy, the bride is coming, like love and cheers, but it happens sometimes they don't understand the lyric. They're just about the melody, and the lyric is something completely the opposite, like not appropriate for the occasion. So it happens a lot. You can see lots of memes, on the internet.
I will look for that. That's pretty fun.
I don't know if it's funny or if it's sad or embarrassing. It's just, guys, if you want to bring any music to your wedding, please check the lyrics first. Do me a favor.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's sweet. It's naive. It's not like they've done it on purpose. They like the tune. It's just it's kind of a little joke for you. Mm-hmm. I remembered what I was going to say. There is a Sheryl Crow song, and it was one of her most popular ones. Have you heard of Sheryl Crow?
No, that I was going to ask. Who is she? He?
She is she's fairly famous as a singer. She was married to the cyclist who cheated. Do you remember that? Lance Armstrong. He won the Tour de France on his bike, but he was using steroids and everybody got mad at him.
The only Armstrong guy I know is the astronaut.
Okay. There's a second Armstrong guy. He cheated at biking. We're over it now. He was married to this woman, Sheryl, who wrote a song. The big picture. And so the lyrics of this song were, all I want to do is have some fun. Okay?
Oh, girls just wanna have fun. Not this one.
Not that one, but close.
Right. Okay.
And so at the time this song came out, there was an advertisement for a program for kids called Hooked on Phonics. And it was to help kids learn their phonetics and their speaking. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I thought the lyrics of that song, all I want to do is have some fun, was really all I want to do is hooked on phonics. I thought that for years.
Right.
Like literally, funny story, I met Sheryl Crow at Much Music. And it was just before then that I'd like actually heard the lyrics to the song and read the lyrics, and I was like, wow, I've been wrong for so long.
I know. I think it happens with everybody. I know. And I have one that happened to me as well, but maybe it's not like the whole sentence. It's just one letter or one sound. So I grew up in the church, right? So my father is a pastor, so every Sunday we were there, and my father was also the bass player. So he was always playing the bass in the band in the church. So I was always going there before the service so they could do the rehearsal. So I was pretty much into the church and into the band. And they were always singing in a specific moment of the song, the word Hosanna. But Hosanna starts with H, which is like a soundless. So you would be like no sound, just the sound O, Hosanna. And it's not like in a specific meaning. It's just like praise, like Hosanna, Hosanna, praise. In English would be something like praise. But there is a very common name in Portuguese, which is Hosanna with an R. And my grandmother, she had a neighbor called Hosanna. And I was a kid. So every time we were in the church, I was singing Hosanna, Hosanna. And I thought they were singing a song for the lady, for my grandma's. And just like really, after a long time, I understood that it wasn't a song for that lady. And I was so frustrated.
That's so funny.
Kid stuff, but this is the point. Like, I'm sure there must be so many songs that you also feel like, I can't believe they are singing this. I was like my whole life thinking something different.
Oh yeah, there's other ones too that I just I think I didn't remember as much. Like there was one song as a kid, and I just called it I think it was like the tennis racket song. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? Like, how is there a song about a tennis racket? But it was this song called We Didn't Start the Fire. And it was a very popular song at the time. But in that song, I was thinking about like there being a fire. And so for some reason, I thought the tennis racket burned in the fire. And that's why it was the tennis racket song. So my poor mother is like trying to figure out what I'm talking about. She's like, okay.
What's wrong with this kid?
No. Good song, Have.
You see, that's the point. If it happens with us, native speakers in our languages, just don't bother. If there is something specific in a song that's not your own language, it's just totally normal. It's supposed to happen, right? Like, yeah. Well, but just check the lyrics, at least if it's in a specific occasion, like a wedding, like, at least.
Just real quick, Google Translate that.
Yeah, Google it.
This is a song. Have you heard WAP, which has come out recently?
WAP? No, what is it?
Okay, so WAP is parental lyrics on. WAP is a song called Wet Ass Pussy.
Okay.
So it's about a lady's bits and how she is ready for sexy time. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a kind of song, or is this the name of the song?
This is the name of the song.
Ah, okay. I thought it was like a style.
No. That would be a funny style, though.
Well, like funk. Funk is like is this kind of song.
You know what? You're right about that. So basically, Cardi B has done it with another. Cardi B is a big name right now. There you go. Yeah. And so she's done it with Megan Thee Stallion. I don't quite get.
I don't know her.
3 horses. So sure. Yeah. WAP. And so this song it's kind of an anthem as an answer to a lot of the music that male rappers make. Okay. It's kind of degrading. It's a lot of like, this is You know, it's sexy stuff. Oh, it's Nicki Minaj. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh,
my bad. Yeah, so it's the video is very, very sexy and people got all up in arms about it. But it's an anthem. It's a women empowerment anthem of freedom of sexuality. So it's a catchy tune.
I think I am so out of the word. I've been locked for so long that I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't really need to be out to see what's going on in regards to music, but like in general, I don't know what's going on with anything anymore. I feel like I'm in my own bubble, just with my students studying a lot, and then suddenly there is a new song that it's just everybody knows it. I'm like, I don't know, in what planet am I living? You know, like. So thanks for the suggestion. I'm definitely Googling it after this call because I need to know what's going on. I mean, everybody here is on the chat it's apparently everybody knows about it.
You guys know.
I have no idea what are you guys talking about. So,
well,
I know who Cardi B is.
Yeah.
I know Nicki Minaj. I don't know Megan.
She's newish, but same sort of genre of music.
Okay.
What I find interesting actually is Nicki Minaj is very, very clever with her writing. She's so quick and she can make a good point, and it's if you listen to the lyrics of this WAP song, which wet ass pussy I think is terrible English, just by the way, because you're talking about an ass and then a pussy, and you're using the word ass to describe pussy.
Not a good adjective.
No. And so like right now in English, we're using, let's get into this. People are using the term ass to describe things in general. So it would be like, you know, people often use it to describe their sexuality. So it would be like, my gay ass does this or likes this. I don't know why. I don't know. It's not my favorite vernacular, but that's what I'm reading. That's what the people say.
But this is interesting, you know, because this is communication. Sometimes people are like, oh, can I learn English in 6 months? And I'm like, well, you can learn a lot in 6 months, but do you mean learn every single word and every single slang and every single way of people expressing themselves all over the world? No, honey, not in a lifetime.
No.
You know, just be clear. Like, you know, yeah, you can learn with my method in maybe 7 months, 1 year, what you would learn maybe in 2, 3, 5 years in a traditional school. Good. But I mean, I still learn a lot. Like every time we talk, I learn something new.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to make things clear, because sometimes people think like, oh, I'm gonna be fluent in 6 months and I don't need to study anymore. Like, I'm still learning, honey, and I'm studying for over 20 years. So
yeah, it doesn't stop because English people are always changing the English language instead of learning other languages. You know,
that's another point.
Reinventing English because we're like, oh, this would be fun to say. Learn other languages and then you'll know more words.
But you see, I think I don't think. I know that this happens with every language. In Portuguese, if you talk to someone like older, if you get my grandma, if you get whatever, like someone older, you can see the difference, but not just 3 or 4 generations before. If you get someone that was in the 1800s, it's completely different Portuguese.
Really?
Well, not completely, but you can tell the difference. Like, for example,
is it like old Portuguese?
Well, there is old Portuguese. There are some words, like, for example, now the word you in Portuguese, we say você, right? That's the correct word. But you know, life is you know, it's just too short and so busy. We don't have time to say 2 syllables, você, too much. So we say say. So say, go somewhere, say this and that. So in the everyday language, people are not saying você anymore. We're just saying say. Just for the sake of having, not enough time to say everything. So a few years ago, people didn't say você. They would say voz me se. So follow me.
That's even longer.
Voz me se now is você, and millennials, let's say, they say se, only one syllable. And if you're typing, you only type the letter V and the letter C. That would be you.
Oh. Okay.
Language is evolving, and you gotta, keep evolving with it, because society evolved. And even I was thinking about it last few days ago. Like, if you get really old books like Bible and the Indian sacred books, or even the Islamic culture, they also have their old books. The language, like, it's just so different. This is why it's difficult to understand, because the way how they were doing connections, like association or metaphors, so they could pass the message. If you get the Jesus parables, right? Jesus was always talking about the olive tree and talking about the river. He was making associations, like life is like the river because it flows like this and that, like making comparisons so people could understand what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, he was talking about heaven stuff. People wouldn't really get him if he was going to say, okay, now guys, there is, there are atoms, and there is a universe, and there is energy. Imagine 2,000 years ago, they would be like, what are you talking about? So he had to make this, parables and metaphors so people could get. So not just the words change, but also the way how we process languages, the way how we create, the flow of the thought process is also different, because now we have different stimulus. Isn't it cool?
It's phenomenal. And I want to say two things, and I hope I don't forget the second while I say the first. So the second thing is about a book. We'll come back to that. So what I think is interesting is that is how people remember. So I watched a documentary about people who remember numbers and cards and things in order for contests. They'll flip over like 4 decks of cards and remember all of them in a row. And the way they do it is by creating a story. And so they talked to one of the girls who did it, and she's like 13 or something, like something stupid young. And so she has to remember all of these things. And so she creates a story in her mind of, she starts here, and the first thing reminds her of this like squid in a street. So you picture a path that you walk all the time, and then you place things on the path that are out of the ordinary. And so when you walk down the path again, you can find those things.
This is one of the techniques we use in my course.
Is it?
We learn English through stories, because you activate the hippocampus in your brain, because you are associating the new information with the story. So humans love stories. So this is why I won't come to my student and say, today we are going to learn present perfect, or today we are going to learn adverbs. They will be like, no, please. So what do? We get a story.
Yeah. And
then we check this whole story, and usually is a true video on YouTube and something inspirational that they will use that information as a tool. So we have a story, so I get the transcription and translation for them. And then we study that story, and we understand grammar in a context way.
That's good.
Which we call brain friendly. So as we are talking, there is lots of grammar happening here, but we're not really thinking about grammar. We're just communicating, and this is the point. So every time you insert stories, you get this hit of memory. Isn't it incredible?
It is incredible. I find that so interesting. I love learning about the brain.
Me too.
I know. So the second thing I was going to tell you was about a book. And I'm trying to remember exactly what book it was. I honestly think it was one of the Carl Jung books.
Oh, Archetypes?
It might have been, but the point of the story isn't the actual book, it's the translator. So what they found, and I'll send you the article after. I'll have to try to find it. But basically what had happened was a woman read one of the more famous books and translated it herself with her own interpretation of it. And she found out there is a lot of misogynistic terms in the translations. So in certain books, the original meaning was there were some, like poor women over there. But the translation to English was here's some sluts, or like there's some whores. And so the interpreter has changed people without money into a whore at their own leisure. Okay. And so this woman has gone through the same book and retranslated it herself into, from her perspective of women and equality and whatnot. And the story changes greatly.
So the same woman retranslated it, or someone else did it?
She did it. So so men had done it before, and she came in, read the original, translated it with her perspective. And now the story has changed greatly. And a lot of the male translators are angry because she's cleaned up some stuff and changed some things because, whoever translated it gets to tell the story.
So amazing that you're saying that, Heather, because books, stories in general, it's just about the interpreter. So it's, everything's about interpretation. We can go about this subject in particular for hours, because I was studying this for a while. I'm not into this subject too much anymore, but there was a time in my life that was a lot about giving new meanings for everything. And then I found a book which is called A Course in Miracles. Have you heard about it?
That's Gabby. Oh, where'd you go? That's Gabby Bernstein, right?
Hello? Are you there?
Oh, yeah, you froze up.
Are you back? Am I back?
I can hear you. I can't see you, but that's okay.
Oh, I can hear and see you. So, anyways, can you see me now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Gabby Bernstein, she wrote a few books actually about this.
Gabby.
She wrote Miracles Now, and I got the autograph. Doo-doo-doo. Miracles Now, and she also have this May Cause Miracles, and also with the autograph. Doo-doo-doo. And she write those two books. She talks about this main book, which is called A Course in Miracles, which is all about how we give meanings to things. And this book is deep. It's truly deep. And meanings. They say everything we see around are things. When we see things around us, we are actually watching the past.
Oh.
What? Bear with me. I won't leave you just like that.
I know that's heavy. We have 10 minutes left, and you're like, let me just explode your brain. See you later.
Bear with me. Okay. So we're watching the past because we already gave meanings to things. So when I first saw a mug in my life, then I understood, okay, this is what this is up for. So every time I see a mug, I see already the meaning that I gave to it like years ago. But this could be so many different things. But if you are not giving new meanings to things, I could never perhaps think that I could just put some plant here. This could be a vase, or this could be anything else. But this is a simple example. This happens with everything. So when you look around and you see lack, you see judgment, you see everything, you're just seeing things that you gave meaning before. So A Course in Miracles, it's like a course, not just a course like a learning. A course means a path. So a path in miracles. So the book is all about, they say that miracle is just the moment where you switch from fear to love. So fear is like the extreme.
Yeah.
Like you have different feelings, right? In the
spectrum.
In the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the very end of the spectrum would be fear, and the other very end would be love. So whenever you switch your perception from fear to love, this is a miracle, because you've changed your perception. Then you see something completely different, and then everything else will follow it. So this is a very, very quick sum up about this subject, because it's deep but very transformational. But it's mainly all about giving meanings to things. So it's like an invitation for giving new meanings for everything that is around you and the way how you perceive life, because it's everything's about perception. How, if you look around and you see lack, it's a lie, it's an illusion, because the word is just about abundance, but sometimes we're not really able to see abundance. And then they say this is a detour from love. All we have to do is go back to love and away from fear.
Yeah.
So
it's a practice, though. I think that's absolutely a thought practice, because for me, as someone who lives in my head a lot, once you get into the habit of worrying, so I'm someone who is like, okay, I won't worry about this now. I'll worry about it when I have time to worry about it. But then when you have a moment to sit, all you do is worry. And that's just so much fear. And I realized recently how much time I've wasted in my life just worrying about stuff.
At least you realize it. Some people, never really get it.
Yeah, like I look back at one time, like I was fired from a job, and I was so angry at the person who fired me for months, and like that person probably does not remember my name, and like all my rage thoughts about some sort of revenge are useless and frivolous. Like that's not gonna happen. And if it did, then I would seize the moment at the time, So I think that our current present thoughts are so very important. And I think that the sort of the lens that you look at things through determines how it comes back at you.
Totally.
100%. And I think it's funny because I pulled a card before I met you here.
Did you witch?
Of course I did. And it's strange. I got a new deck and I pulled this card like 3 times, of course. So the main message of the card is
did you get the same card 3 times?
Yeah.
Right now, like
no, just in the last I've had the deck for maybe 3 months and I've pulled that card 3 times.
So it's like always coming back to remind you something, which is, wanna share?
Is the message of it is about mirrors. And so mirrors. Yeah. So kind of the message of the card, and I think I'd read it somewhere else, is that sorry, I'm trying to tell 2 stories at once. Just pick one. So the story on the card is that there is a boy talking to his grandfather, and his grandfather says to him, there are 2 wolves in everyone. There's an angry wolf and there's a good wolf. Mm-hmm. And he said that everybody has these 2, like the good and the evil, the fear and the love. And the boy says to his grandfather, like, what do I, how do I live? How do I deal with these wolves? And he's like, you'll express whatever wolf you feed the most. So if you feed your angry wolf, it's going to be the strongest presence in you. But if you feed your happy wolf, it's going to be the strongest presence. But they're both just as fierce. but they
I
come,
like the idea.
yeah, which I think is very interesting, because once you get into a fear mind state, you stay there. You know, you're constantly ready for defense. And once you can get out of there, it's such a different perspective on so many things. Sicilian? Yeah.
Claytioni.
Oh, fuck. That's not close at all. I have to learn the E part on the end. Clesieni.
Clay.
Clay?
Siani.
Siani. Clay Siani. Okay. Back on track. She says, cool. I learned a bit about how we switch our feelings in the course. We can switch our feelings rapidly. It's so important to our growth. It is.
Yeah, I do talk a lot about this subject with my students. Of course, I cannot talk about anything else. But sorry, guys, if you come to my course, we're gonna have to talk about this subject, because this is what I like to talk about. If you want some grammar and some boring stories, I'm sure you're gonna find loads of different courses around. But if you want this kind of stuff, come with mommy.
Come with mommy.
But I say mommy because they call me mommy. Like, they are like, you're like my mother, because I look after them so much. Like, I'm always like, okay, students, don't worry, you know, like, I'm always cuddling them somehow, so they feel like I'm their mother, and I feel like I'm their mother too. Like, my friend was telling me, when are you gonna have a child? I'm like, I have already over 4,000 children, you know.
That's a lot of children.
A lot of children to look after. So even like Clecione, I know her, like Ricardo, lots of my students, they are here. David, Maria Eduarda, lots of my students, they're all here. So they know that I look after them. So yeah, that's the point. We do talk about feelings whenever we have a chance. Because, you know, like, sure, where are you going to talk about this subject? In the bar? Maybe.
No, we can't go there.
No, we can, exactly.
Okay, do we want to quickly?
Yeah, should we ask them if they want to make any questions? So guys, ask anything you want. We're gonna give you just to tell you, love, I was supposed to go to an appointment this afternoon. This is why we did it earlier, but I canceled it because I do not have my car, because things happened with my car, so I picked another day. Anyway, just so you know, we're not in a rush. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought we were in a rush. So cool. We can chill.
Yeah, maybe we can give them some opportunities to ask you something. So who is going to ask something? Take this opportunity, because, you know, when would you have an opportunity to ask something for this lovely Canadian? This is your chance. So while they are asking us, I'm watching two screens, so I can see if there is any other questions here. But Clecione says, fantastic. I love this that you told us right now, teacher Heather. What is specifically you think she means?
Sure. Oh. Just kidding. That's my lawyer.
Oh, you're a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been messing around?
No, I have been a good girl, but we also found out that when I was laid off due to COVID, my company didn't pay me very much money when they let me go. And I was talking to a lawyer friend of mine, and she said, you can probably get more money. And so I said, okay. And so she referred me to a lawyer friend of hers that handles this kind of stuff. Ironically, I found out she lives in my building downstairs.
In the same building?
Yeah.
Come on, Heather.
World. I know. And anyways, so I told her, like, I sent her my contract and whatever, and then she sent a letter to my old company, and they said, "Yep, you got us there. We'll pay you."
You're right. Like, they're supposed to get you more money.
Yeah, I know. They're shady like that, though. My old company that's how they are, and I'm okay with not being there anymore. So thank you for the payout, and have a great day. Yeah, so
I'm glad you're looking into it.
Thanks. Me too. I think that it's so wild that people, like, I had no idea. I was just like, I guess that's what I get. Thanks. And it wasn't even to do with COVID. Like, my contract was written incorrectly. So they were able, like, the lawyers went into like what the contract said about something. I honestly don't understand. Like, just take my money and give me whatever. But they were like, my company wrote this stuff wrong, and thus I'm entitled to this. And so that's what I get. Now, the lawyers take a big cut of it.
Well, that's why they're lawyers. But
without them, I'd have nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Better than nothing. And at least you're going after your rights. So good for you. Yeah. Calling abundance.
Calling abundance. Exactly. I realized, I was like, money needs to come to me now.
Come to me, money. This is the thing. Mind Valley, there is a course there. You're going to have to do that one, which is about money. Yeah, our relationship to money. So,
which I did one. Was it the one with the, I think it's the Chinese guy?
Yeah, I think it's money EQ, something like that.
Yeah, and he talks about, like, there's 4 different, like, money stuff.
So you did the course. That's why money's coming. You're clever.
It is, because that course had some really good stuff in it.
I know. This is what I'm telling you.
Because the one thing that I took, like, 2 things out of it, like, mostly. And there's a comment that says, Heather looks like a movie actress. She's really fun. Mwah.
She's amazing.
Thank you.
Lovely.
That's the goal.
So the course.
Yes. So I learned that. So Vishan had a thing where you put a piggy bank at your front door. And then when you walk by it, if you pick up any money in the street that you find or whatever, just when you walk by the piggy bank, you say to yourself, I'm a money magnet. And it's, it unblocks those things. And so the other thing that I thought was really interesting was that he says you take on the debt baggage of your parents. So, like, whatever your parents are most worried about is what you have to deal with. And I found that really, really interesting. And it just, it illuminated some things for me about my parents and how they lived. Like, my dad growing up, they didn't have money. Like, he got a job, I think, when he was like 5 or 6 to like go start bringing in the cash. And so, like, for him, it's always been a make it and save it and make it and save it. But, like, I'm the daughter of somebody who made it and saved it. And so for me to live that, not that cheaply and, like, frugally, but like, I don't need to live in constant fear that I'm not going to have a roof over my head, like that's not going to happen because of where I live. And you know what I mean? So, like, that's not something I need to carry around with me. Whereas that's a burden that they had to carry, my parents, my dad, because he was the one providing the home and everything like that. And I think he took it on as a young child as well. And so, like, for me to realize, like, oh, like, you're okay, is such a load off. And it opens up the immediacy, if that makes sense. Like, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, your goals are much smaller because you only have so much to work with, And so I found, like, if I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, I'm able to dream bigger because the goals aren't as short. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I'm letting you speak because this is a very, very important subject. It changes so much when we get that. And we all of us, no exception, we all bring beliefs from our ancestors in general, like parents, grandparents, and so on. Some beliefs, they just last generations. And it's our job to recognize them and give them new meanings. So from now on, new generations wouldn't really have to deal with old patterns. It's not something deliberately. We need to be very aware, very present when those beliefs come, so we can give them new meaning. Otherwise, we're just in the automatic bottom, like autopilot.
Yeah.
So money beliefs, they're just all over, and I've done so many courses in money beliefs. You have no idea, like, and I'm still working on them. I don't think I'm there yet, but my parents also struggled. I came from a very, very simple family. Nobody there studied like in the university like me, or now the youngsters, they had, like, I opened the
Did it? Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Before I was the first who did the university and that learned English and that traveled abroad. And
That's huge.
that was huge. Trust me, it wasn't easy just to break that pattern,
Mm-hmm.
And I realized at some point in my life that I had a roof that I was hitting, which was always the number 3,000. I was always having like 3,000 reais. Even when I was getting more money, I was always finding a way to spend it. So I was always like having 3,000 a month. And I don't know where I got this number from. Like,
Okay.
maybe I saw someone having 3,000 a month, and then maybe I realized that person was very successful, and then that was the max. And I was there for a long time, always earning 3,000 a month. And I was like, come on, there must be a way to get more money a month. And I tried through struggle, like, for a while, I was giving English classes in 2 different schools at the same time, teaching English on weekends. I was like, no day off. It was just like really, really through struggle. And I was like, I want to be abundant and I don't want to struggle. I want to work because I like to work, but I don't want to struggle. I want to work and, be abundant.
Yeah.
And I realized one belief, which was, to earn money, you need to work hard. And this is what my parents always said.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to have money, you have to work hard. And the work hard was always there. I mean, I still work hard. I work a lot. You know that. It's difficult to get this out of me. But now I earn much, much more. Now I have, like, I'm not struggling. Like, now I have, like, a different style of life. Still working a lot, but this working a lot, it's more like pleasure, like, it's more in an abundance point of view. Like, my company is getting bigger. I'm giving more jobs around. Like, I'm creating more jobs. I'm creating more opportunities. Like, it's expanding and not contracting. So there is a little difference there. But once I found this sentence, I have to work hard to make money. And then there are techniques to work on beliefs. And I even teach this to my students, because we can also work on limiting beliefs with, blocking ourselves when we're speaking English or learning something else. So we can work on our beliefs in regards to that. But money is something so, so important. And usually when we find beliefs regarding money, you find so many others. And I think we could do a podcast just about clearing limiting beliefs, because this is huge.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think limiting beliefs are the root of all people's problems.
Yeah.
And I had one of my old roommates used to, on her voicemail, it would be like, hey, you've reached so and so. If you can dream it, you can do it.
So cute. I like it. I would probably record something similar.
Yeah. It's funny. But I think, like, the money things, they really get you in your head. Because I find now, like, my parents are fine. They live in a beautiful house in the water. Like, the hard work paid off. Yeah.
It's in the past now.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think that's what's interesting is like, you know, your parents, and I think a lot of like immigrant parents do that as well, where they're just like, if I work so hard, my kid will have a nice life. Well, I think that's all parents, let's be honest. And so I think they forget that like they got to live too, you know? And stuff where like, you know, my dad won't buy new flip-flops. Like he had flip-flops one time for like 10 years and put a nail in the bottom to hold them together. Like, my dude, you can afford new flip-flops, but the mindset for him is, no, I got to make these last. And so,
you know, Leo, he had that from his father. His father was doing the same with the flip-flop, and he was never buying himself like new shoes or new whatever, new clothes. And I realized after a while living with Leo that I was like, okay, these trousers, maybe they're not, you know, good anymore. Shall we get a new one? And he was always like, no, it's fine. This is, but like, they were bad, like completely wrong.
Yeah, they're done.
Let's sort this, please. And shoes, he was never buying, and he's better at it now because he's got the money to buy new stuff for him. But usually I am the one buying him new shoes, new clothes, because he feels like he shouldn't be spending money with that. Can you imagine? Like, it's so subconscious because his father was doing it. Yeah. And of course, his father didn't have money to spend with new outfits and stuff. But he can. But it's automatic. And sometimes when I see he needs something, I'm like, okay, let me get him, you know, new shoes or new whatever. Cause
just do it.
Yeah, and I think lots of people have the same behavior. So,
I mean, my mom's the same as you. Like, she'll just, you know, we'll just get you some new shirts, and maybe we'll get you this. Like,
yeah, no, that's not argue. Just give him new stuff, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll use it. I got him flip-flops in Brazil, and so like now those are his flip-flops.
You got him. True. Clayciani says again.
Oh, teacher, we can realize that you work with what makes you really happy. Yeah, she does.
I do. Okay. So 13:13 is the time.
Oh, it's good time.
Does that mean anything? I don't know. Possibly. And yeah, we're just coming to the end of this show.
We don't have any questions. Okay.
Oh, I couldn't see any questions. They're just. Oh, my mom's here? What do you mean?
Just you being the mom.
Oh no, our mom is here. Yes, I'm there, Mom. What can I do? All my children.
All my children. A snack.
Anyways, honey, thank you again for our chat. You know I love you.
I love you too. Have a nice day. It was so nice to see you.
I love to see your face. You know that.
Please, I love it.
You came all gorgeous because you know I love to see you.
It's true. I got some new fancy hair bits.
I like it.
We got here. Yeah, we'll see next week. I think I'm going to do some braids. It's going to get...
So I want to see braids and I want to say ukulele. Ukulele. I don't know the name.
Oh, yeah, ukulele.
Ukulele. Okay. Ukulele. Braids and ukulele next week.
Dude, I need a song. Okay. We can do this. Imagine I did a Portuguese song.
You have a week to start that.
Okay. This is good. I like this challenge. Okay. Love you. Oh, shoot. You know what? We didn't tell people. If you want to listen to this again, it is available immediately on YouTube right after we finish, and also on all of your favorite streaming services, including Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud.
Deezer.
What's that?
Deezer.
I don't know that one. Deezer?
Deezer. D-E-E-Z-R. No, Z-E-R.
Huh. Never heard. Okay, so Deezer. And they're all available at Inamara.com.
SoundCloud too.
Yeah. /podcast. Oh, perfect. There it is in the links. Great.
Thanks for the reminder. And I see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. toot, toot, toot.